Hi everyone out there, I am Spanangwabo, your sports guru. Catch me live every Saturday morning from 11 a.m. till 1 p.m. Only on Nirvana Wild FM. Your beat, your music. Danko.
The views, opinions, or comments expressed on this program does not reflect the views, opinions, or comments of the radio station or its management.
When the legendary Setswana football commentator Tebo Manyapelo said, football doesn't have therefore, it's not mathematics, it's not geometry. He knew exactly what he was talking about. The minnows from Africa, Morocco, booted out Cristiano Ronaldo and his Portugal out of the FIFA World Cup Qatar 22 quarter-final stages. Who saw that coming? No one did, neither did I. Morocco became the first African country to reach semi-finals in the FIFA World Cup history after Cameroon in 1990, Senegal in 2002 and Ghana in 2010 all fell short in the quarterfinals. The national team, it was another case of close yet so far. Amper Marnis Tamperni. Organjan, when Hurricane ballooned that all-important penalty over the bar out of the stadium. Talking of nerves getting the better of him. Oh, poor Hurricane. World Cup favourites Argentina, led by Lionel Messi, easily brushed Croatia aside to reach finals and set a date with defending champions France Le Bleu. Kylian Mbappe and France are about to rewrite history books should they beat Argentina, La Albi Celeste, tomorrow and become the first country to defend World Cup in the past 60 years, and in so doing join Brazil and Italy, who did that successfully. Listen to this and listen to it. Baya Moy. In 2001, Ronaldinho signed for PSG. The following year, 2002, he won the World Cup. Fast forward to 2017, Kylian Mbappe signed for PSG. The following year, 2018, he won the World Cup. Last year, 2021, Lionel Messi signed for PSG also. The following year, 2022, he's in the World Cup final, playing tomorrow. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Or you're just being slow? Let's hope you think what I'm thinking. Everything has got to do with signing for PSG, and you stand a very good chance of clinching the World Cup the very, very following year. Boso ke mang, ke Messi, boso ke mang, ke Cristiano Ronaldo. Yes, the GOAT argument continues. Is Lionel Messi the real GOAT, or is it Cristiano Ronaldo? Who is the real deal? Uba ninja game and why? Send us your comments on our studio WhatsApp line number, which is 07-333-16934. Our studio WhatsApp line number again is 07-333-16934. We are truly blessed to be living in the times where we are so spoiled for choice, so much talent at our disposal. Two giants in our lifetime. Who is the real GOAT? Boso Gimang? Is it Lionel Messi? Is it Cristiano Ronaldo? Hala.
Everyone's watching. You know it's serious. We're getting closer. This isn't over. The pressure's on. You feel it, but you got it all. Believe it. When you fall, get up. Oh, and if you fall, get up.
Piqué, Suarez, Messi! 6-1 to Barca.
This time for Africa. Listen to your God. This is our motto. Your time to shine. Don't wait in line. Y vamos por todo. People are raising their expectations. Go on and feed them. This is your moment. No hesitation. Today's your day. I feel it. You pave the way.
Oh, Boso Gimang. Is it Lionel Messi? Is it Cristiano Ronaldo? Oh, should I go on and drag Diego Maradona to this argument? Now, let's leave the legend out of this. Let these young boys, Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, back it out.
As though it's the cup final. What a remarkable goal from Leo Messi. His 21st goal of the season. Graham Hunter, that came out of absolutely nowhere.
Time
Messi against Jordi Messi. Messi! It's 1-0 to Barcelona. Just under 43 minutes on the clock. And that is the breakthrough the home team so desperately needed. Valverde, I don't think, is very happy at all with his first half performance. Valladolid can consider themselves rather unfortunate.
This time for Africa. This time for Africa. We're all Africa.
It is Waka Waka. It is time for Africa. That was Shakira. It is Saturday, the 17th of December, 2022. FIFA World Cup 2022, Qatar 22 is definitely coming to an end tomorrow with third and fourth place taking place this afternoon. That's between Morocco and Croatia. A very good morning and a warm welcome to you wherever you are within South African borders and beyond. We've got you covered. Don't you worry about a thing. All you have to do is sit back, relax, and allow us to entertain us. You are tuning in to Sports Geek with Sibonelo Ngoba, only on Nirvana World FM. Your beat, your music. Thank you so much to my colleague DJ Powen. Talking of DJ Powen, by the way, guess what? This week he got his school results and he didn't disappoint. He aced his school results. A big congratulations to my colleague DJ Powen. Congratulations indeed, DJ Powen. Halala. Great job indeed for acing your school studies. Well done to DJ Powen. Catch him again next week, Saturday, between 10 and 11 as he brings you teen kids. You and I, we are together from now till 1 p.m. We'll kickstart our show by having a discussion with our sports analyst, Modiba Pitt, and hear what he has to say in as far as FIFA World Cup Qatar 2022 is concerned. We'll also look at, what is this, cricket, netball, swimming, and rugby. But the argument continues. Bosoke Mange. Is it Cristiano Ronaldo, CR7, or is it Lionel Messi? Bosoke Mange. I'm not going to drag Diego Maradona to this argument. We'll let these two battle it out. You can always send us your comments on 07 333 16934. The studio WhatsApp line number again is 07 333 16934. Bosoke Mange. Is it Lionel Messi? Is it CR7? Bosoke Mange. Bosoke Mange. Steady.
Bosoke
Oh, boss, Ogimang, is it Lionel Messi? Is it CR7? Let's end this argument once and for all. Modiba, are you there, Baba?
I'm here, Sibongelos. Good morning to you and also good morning to the listeners, and thanks for having me on this Saturday morning.
First of all, boss Ogimang. Let me put you on the spotlight with that. Wasting too much time. Just join in the Exodus. Boss Ogimang, is it Lionel Messi? Is it CR7 and why? Especially considering his age, Modiba?
A tricky one because at Man United it was said that he went onto the media and exposed the coach Eric Tende. So, and once again, the team decided to just put him aside because he didn't play so many games in that club. So that's where they decided to part ways with him because they were not happy with the way he acted with at the media. And this time around, Portugal, I think he spoke badly about the coach, especially when he was not played, he was sidelined on the bench. That's the way he didn't sit with him, and he decided to sit aside. And you could see even after that match where they lost against Morocco, he was in tears. So I don't know why, because yes, in that game he came in as a sub, but still there were so many news speculating about him not being in good terms with the current technical team of Portugal. So I think going forward, he just needs to sit down and ask himself what he really wants, because we don't expect such himself, a player of his caliber, to be that after such a long time he's been in football, and we haven't had some such behaviors or off the pitch of his caliber. So he needs to sit down and ask himself what he really wants, because this is a player whom some of the young players, young players who are not experienced, so they're looking up at him, especially those who are strikers. They'll want some bit of advices with regard to his quality. So he needs to sit down and introspect himself. That's all I can say.
Absolutely, especially considering his age. He should be leading from the front. He should be exemplary. But this drama that he's inviting on him is definitely uncalled for. Moving right along, Morocco's achievement to be the first African team to make it in World Cup semis rather. Surely it was not a fluke, considering the following facts about Moroccan football. They are the current tournament holders, CAF Champions League winners in 2002. That is their team Wydad Casablanca. They are the current, they've got a team by the name of Begani, who are the CAF Confederation Cup holders, Super Cup winners in 2022. Also, that is Begani. CAF Women's Champions League winner 2022. Women's AFCON finalist in 2022. FIFA World Cup Qatar 2022 semi-finalist. Today, they are contesting for the third World is best against Croatia. So in as far as African football is concerned, it is all about Morocco, and it is no fluke by any chance, Modiba. What do you think Morocco are getting it right, Modiba?
Most definitely, we're talking about a country which was, the football was just poor. They used to be slapped so badly, but as progresses by football, also football again being civilized, so they started becoming a stronger side. As you mentioned, the likes of Wydad Casablanca can also bring in the likes of Raja Casablanca with the very same Morocco. They're just a difficult team to beat, and if you can look into their records in the CAF Champions League, it speaks volume. This is a team that competed with the likes of Sundowns in the past. You spoke about Berkane side. You remember they played Orlando Pirates in the final where they didn't play so well, but on the day they had to win on penalties. They had to play on penalties. And yes, fact is that they won most definitely. So also, as you rightfully spoke about the FIFA World Cup as well, the women's the champions there. Lately they've been a decorated country, Moroccans. But as you spoke about them in the World Cup, I was so impressed, judging from how they were defending. I think the goalkeeper, the Bruno, he's been the pillar of that team. The way they've been winning matches, this is the way the goalkeeper whom has saved them blushes to be where they are. By the way, Esponello, this is a team, the country which has made history. There's no African team which has as far as the semi-finals are concerned. You can look at Senegal, Ghana, they only reach as far as the group stages are concerned, but Morocco have really set the standard. So I'm not so sure going forward in the next coming 4 years, there will be an African team who will just achieve what Morocco has achieved. So looking into them, I think they were just unlucky in that game where they lost against France. So they did have so many opportunities there. I think that they lacked what is called the killer instinct inside the box, because they went pound for pound with France. Although France, yes, they are good at high pressing, and also Morocco, I think their problem, the downfall was that they wanted to absorb the pressure first, and that's where they were caught. Look at how they conceded their first goal there. I think the mistake at the back, they could have done well, better at the back in terms of clearing the ball there. So, but other than that, they went pound for pound. But France, because of their experience, you look at the likes of Kylian Mbappe being key in that game, and although he was kept a bit quiet at some point, but some of these players, they raised their hands and they managed to put the ball in the back of the net. It was just fantastic on the day. So with Morocco, I've been so impressed as their achievements from local clubs. Wydad Casablanca, Raja Casablanca, as we mentioned, the teams, all of them speaks volume. So it's not by fluke as to why they are here in the semi-finals. I think the only thing that the team must improve on is offensively. Well, that's where I think that unfortunately that they didn't score so many goals in that World Cup. It was just only a goal, and some of the matches they had to play goalless. So defensively they are well solid, but I'll give credit to most of the players in that goalkeeper. The goalkeeper stood out for me.
Maybe you mentioned that in the game against France, they definitely did well. They did create chances. So what do you think could have been their downfall? Was it the question of, was the stage too big for them? Did they freeze? Did they panic or whatever? Because I as well, I also saw a lot of chances, especially in the second half. But in the penalty area, there's some kind of lack, that killer instinct, of which I couldn't tell exactly what could be the reason for their panicking or their failure to convert those chances that they created in that semi-final against the defending world champions, France. Modiba.
I think the freeze, to be honest, although they did create so many chances in that game. So some of the players, there was some instances where I thought one of the players could have shot that ball, but he put the ball sideways, is where he made an angle difficult for himself. But the striker Nasir there, he tried the best, but it wasn't to be on the day. They just missed chances. There was also a volley that hit the upright. There also goalkeeper there for France making a save in the first half there. So yes, I think they could have done better in terms of being clinical up front, but they were not just a bad team on the day. They played absolutely well, so they just need to work on their finishing going forward. But I'll also give credit to the coach. I think this is a team that whenever they approach the match, defensively they organize a little block, and it worked for them. Look at how they beat Portugal. It's very surprising how they went on up until the quarterfinals without conceding a goal.
Yes,
what more can you ask? So, and at some point we did say that they can go all the way to the final, but because of they were meeting a well-organized France, that's where things didn't go according to plan. Because France, we know they are defending champions, and they also want to defend their title. So relying on Kylian Mbappe as well, it was just a credit. Let's not forget the striker, the Giroud, fantastic for me. So going forward, Morocco must just polish their finishing, and then I think they can get something. And as you know, that this afternoon, they will be playing in the third and fourth place. They will be playing for a bronze. So my wish is that they must just win something, at least to show, although there won't be spoken much about them after the achievement, but the key thing will be the final. But for them, because of they are playing for third and fourth place, they should finish third. I think from how they are so organized at the back, and also not forget Croatia. I think for me they look similar. The game will definitely be tight in this wonderful afternoon.
So talking of Croatia, in the semi-final we saw Lionel Messi and his Argentina, how they brushed aside the very stubborn Croatian side.
Most definitely, if you can look at in that game, I think it was just the Messi show on the day. You look at how they scored the penalty. Messi there, very
he was on steroids.
How he supplied the second, fantastic. How he supplied the second and third goal to Alvarez. The way he tapped the ball in the back of the net. It's Messi once again. They were just couldn't cope with the brilliance of Messi. You look at that champagne pass that led to the first goal, fantastic for me. So I think Argentina, they really are hungry for cup glory. Let's not forget they haven't won this World Cup before. Messi himself as well, he hasn't won this World Cup. We're not sure if it will be his last World Cup in his career, although come the next 4 years, it will be 39 years. But it seems as if it's still quality. Quality is quality. Class is permanent. It just impressed me in that game against Croatia. So Croatia on the day, yes, they tried to launch some few attacks, but they just couldn't penetrate that organized Argentina defense. So that was that downfall on the day. But on the day, Argentina were just fantastic. Messi being the key player there, causing a lot of drama, both offensively and defensively there.
Oh, definitely. That semi-final game was definitely a Messi show. Talking of still on Croatia, like you've already mentioned that this afternoon they are locking horns against Morocco for that tricky third and fourth position. What can we expect from these two giants this evening, Modiba?
I'm expecting a very tactical match whereby both sides will just be a bit cautious at the start of the match, but going forward they'll want to go all out because this is an opportunity that to prove themselves. I know Croatia will definitely be disappointed. Remember, they were featured in the last final of the 2018 where they lost to the very same France. So this time around they find themselves fighting for a bronze. So, but they must just give themselves a pat in the back, although they could have done better for me as far as going all the way to the final once again, because I was anticipating them going to play with France last week when I was on the show, but it wasn't to be on the day. So I think Morocco, for me, they must just get something into this game because they haven't conceded so many goals, unlike Croatia, where Croatia, yes, they can play on transition at times.
You're now listening to the
as a side of being Africa. Although remember we had some debates whereby they were not classifying themselves as Africans. So
Yes.
a very questionable way. It was so trending on the social media. So
Yes.
I was so surprised when they said that. So, but other than that, they are Africans team. We should rally behind them just at least to get something in this one, and it will be a history in the making, because for other next countries, African countries that are coming, they must just do better than Morocco and try to go all the way to the final.
And then tomorrow, it's the big one indeed. It doesn't get any better than this. That's the one that most people will be talking about for some time to come. Argentina versus World Cup defending champions, France, Leblé. Lionel Messi versus Kylian Mbappe. Talk to us about that game, Modibo.
What a game to look forward. What a humdinger of a final. This is the curtains will be closed in tomorrow's morning, and the listeners, and we are anticipating a very huge, a very packed stadium there of that encounter.
Oh, yes.
So I think Messi will want to finish on 6 goals. Mbappe will want to finish on 6 goals. So we are anticipating a very tactical match, although it will definitely be an open game where both sides will definitely go at each other, because France, and they're very dangerous when it comes to pressing, but I've seen them at some point defensively making some errors there. If I can take you back to the game against, is it England, where they had to win by 2-1. So they made errors there, whereby they considered 2 penalties. So unfortunately, Harry Kane wasn't clinical. So you look at Argentina, yes, they're capable of scoring goals. Also, they don't concede so many goals. So we are in for a lovely final. So I think France will definitely want to defend that title. Then Argentina, as we know, Messi, it is alluded to the fact that inside the media that he wants to go all out and win this one for his career. So question is, will France defend the title? Will Argentina this time around make history by becoming the first team to win this one? So I think I'll go with France for this one, judging from how they've got this good high pressing, and they've been scoring so many goals more than Argentina. Although Argentina, yes, they've also been scoring, but France, for me, they've stood out for me. They've been scoring goals. Imagine going all the way to the final without key players like Pogba, you have Benzema. So what more can you ask? The key of the players were not in the tournament, but as the media, media is always disclosing so many news saying that Karim Benzema there is definitely ready to play in the final. Yes. So let's see if he's fit and ready to feature in tomorrow's encounter. But I'm not so sure. I think he might start on the bench. So their coach will definitely want temper with the team that thrashed here midweek. They'll want to stick with the same lineup that played midweek. So, but most definitely, Messi will be key for France. You look at the likes of Giroud, a very key striker for them. He's been scoring goals, but most definitely, Mbappe will definitely be a playmaker there in that team. It's been fantastic for me. So let's see between him and Messi, whoever finds the net more will definitely be a top goal scorer of this wonderful World Cup.
Oh yes, Modibo. So if I got you right, did you just call France to lift this one tomorrow?
Remember, as the show progresses, I did say that France, Spain, Brazil, one of these 3 sides will definitely go all the way to the final, and it proved me right. That this time it's France, although the 2 went off earlier as far as the quarterfinals, and then France were out of these 3 teams I predicted, they are in the final, so they are going to defend their title once again. So they've been impressive for me and scoring heavily, thrashing opponents heavily. So Mbappe, their goalkeeper as well there. So for me, they'll definitely get something in this match. So I'll go with France 1-0.
Okay, we'll hold you on record for that. So let's hope for your sake, France, they will defend that trophy tomorrow and become the 3rd country to do that successfully, because we remember that for the past 60 years, 6-0, no team has managed to do that successfully, defending the World Cup. We remember that the last time this was done was back in 1962 when it was defended by Brazil after they won it in 1958. So it's only Brazil and Italy who ever did this successfully, defending the FIFA World Cup. But on that note, on you tipping France to lift the cup, I've got some smaller history that might bust your bubble, that might drive you to think otherwise. Listen to this piece of history, and then I'll ask you again if you're still going for France. In 2001, Ronaldinho signed for PSG. The following year, 2002, he won the World Cup. Fast forward to 2017, Kylian Mbappe signed for the very same PSG. The very following year, 2018, he won the World Cup. Last year, 2021, Lionel Messi signed for the very same PSG. And today, he's in the World Cup final and loading. Are you thinking what I'm thinking, Modiba? Or you still stand your ground and still say France will walk away victors? Because everyone that has signed, because we've got two or three players that signed for PSG the previous year, 1 year before the World Cup, and they go on and win the World Cup. Don't you think history will repeat itself tomorrow when Lionel Messi take on France on that final and be the third player to do exactly what Ronaldinho, Kylian Mbappe did in the past 2 occasions, Modiba?
He does stand a chance. As we know, he's been scoring key goals for them, although it's an individual brilliance, if one may put it in simple, that they put too much burden of work and onto him. So, and with France, it's a different story. Everybody is preaching the likes of Giroud, the likes of Mbappe. Look at their midfield as well. So, for me, I think history will repeat itself. France will definitely defend the title come tomorrow. Yes, Argentina will try their best, but I think France are too much when it comes to pressing. As long as they don't commit mistakes at the back, then yeah, they do stand a chance. But I'll go with France.
Okay, you go with France it is. Okay, my next question was going to be about Benzema's availability for tomorrow, but I believe you've already touched on that. You said, why you mandate if it's not broken, where you said you think Benzema will start on the bench, will not make it on the starting 11 for France.
Because as you said that he was injured, so I think the rhythm is not there. He still has to catch up fitness. So I think the coach will definitely want tamper with the lineup that played against Croatia. So he'll start to it because they scored freely there against Croatia. So they'll definitely put him on the bench and maybe come in as a sub as the game progresses.
Oh, absolutely. And then we come back to South African news. What's happening in the local front, Modibo?
In the local side, Kaizer Chiefs in midweek, they've just confirmed that 3 of their matches will be played at Polokwane in Pitamukaba. So we look at the game against Royal AM on the 29th of this month, January, I should say. Golden Arrows also on the 19th of February. And lastly, against the Swallows on the 2nd of May. Both these 3 encounters will definitely play at Pitamukaba. So I think they're trying to take the games to people there, to fans, as you know. Fans are back in the stadium, so it's just busy all over. So yeah, very interesting.
Considering that,
and then going forward again.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. As it was said that the agreement will definitely continue for the next 3 seasons. And let's go to Richards Bay. There have been some few signings before this official transfer window can open. We saw Richards Bay signing a winger there, a Kenyan winger by the name of Ovela Ochieng there. So they're trying to beef up their squad. As you know, they've done tremendously well in their first season up to so far. So, but we'll have to wait and see come second round if it is by fluke or they are just on form. And then also again, midweek, Sekhukhune United, they announced the signings of Philani Zulu. Remember, formerly with Maritzburg United, Kaizer Chiefs, and Amazulu. And then also there's Mzanele Mahashe. Remember with Bidvest Vets, Bloemfontein Celtic as well, and he was currently in the books of Royal AM. And let's look at CAF once again released some group stage matches there, whereby I'll start with CAF Champions League there. For Mamelodi Sundowns, they will be grouped in Group B, where they'll meet the likes of Al Ali. It looks like the history is repeating itself against Al Ali in the same group.
No, not
and
again.
Also, there's Al Hilal and Cotton Sport. Yes.
I said not again. Sundowns and Al Ahly again.
Most definitely, it will be a tough game. This time around, it will be in the absence of Peter Musimani because it's no longer with the club. So let's see what the current coach can plan against the very same Sundowns. So as we know, it will kickstart next month on the 11th, on the week of the 10th and 11th. And that's where Sundowns will play their first game against Al Hilal there. So let's see. Group on the CAF Confederations Cup, we've got Marumo Gallants. As we know, they've just qualified for the wonderful group stages as well. They'll play against, if I can take you back to 2002, remember a striker by the name of Kabamba Musasa, who once played for Kaizer Chiefs, coming from a team called St. Eloi Lupopo. Yes, this St. Ole Lupopo, they'll definitely play against him. The likes of Marumo Gallants, there's Yusem Alja from Algeria, and there's also Al Akda from Libya. So very interesting matches to look forward to, because both sides will definitely play first round and the second round, and it is 3 points at stake for both the home and away encounters there. So, and again, let's go back to what you call Cape Town City. They just announced a striker there by the name of Juan Camilo Zapata on a 4-year deal. So he's from Colombia. So they're trying to beef up their upfront. And also, as you know, last week they just announced the signing of Lorenzo Coutinho. You remember, formerly with Bidvest Vets and Kaizer Chiefs. So I think as you remember very well, they struggled a bit at the start of the season. I remember they lost against Sundowns in the opening game 2-0, against Amazulu 2-1, against Solos 3-2. So defensively they were just questionable. The lack of Tyrese Freelis and Ken Kupi, they're not doing well. So they ended up the beefed up some defense there. So let's see if he will be doing well, because he was struggling before the break of the World Cup with Eric Tindley. So he needs to pull up his socks as well. Lastly, but not least, as you know, we once said it on the show that there is merry-go-round of coaches. This time around, as Middendorp, he's been announced as a head coach of Solos FC. So question, will he be able to save Solos, because they've not been doing well? Let's wait and see. Then it's a merry-go-round. As you know, if I can also alert the fans, the listeners once again, this is a coach who once he was seen in many of Solos in matches sitting on the stands. So I remember I once said it on fan base that maybe he might join the club, because he's been attending all Solos matches. It seems as if my opinion was spot on. I think I might have sent you even the clip during the week about that.
Oh, yes, you did, and you always spot on in as far as the predictions are concerned. You called it long time ago that Middendorp might join the Beautiful Birds, and yes, he did. He was announced as the Swallows FC's coach. I heard you mentioning that Kaizer Chiefs they'll be taking their games to Polokwane. If we look at the attendance in the Kaizer Chiefs games, especially when they are playing here in Johannesburg, they normally play in front of empty stands. What do you think might be the problem as compared when they go out, when they take their games out of Gauteng, Modiba?
I think it might be because people, they don't have finances, because at some point it will be mid-month. So, but we've seen it before, even with Bafana. Remember when they played Botswana, there are two of their friends at FN stands, and we spoke about I think Kaizer Chiefs have played their matches at Polokwane before. Remember during the days of Steve Compella, he was still a Kaizer Chiefs coach. Yes, they won some of their matches there. So, and the stadiums were always full. So I think they like Polokwane as far as history is concerned. So it's favoring them. Although let's not forget, SuperSport United once used Pitamokaba also as their home venue during the days of Gordon Injacent there. So, but with Kaizer Chiefs, yes, I've seen them filling up the stadium. And also I can take you back to Orlando Pirates. You remember Orlando Pirates when they played Mamelodi Sundowns in that second leg of the MTN 8? The Pitamokaba stadium was just filled up. So I think they're trying to take their games to the fans, because the fans there, they don't have so many teams there. Yes. Although at Pitamokaba we've seen Marumo Gallants, we've seen Skokun United, but the stadiums still are not that full. But because Kaizer Chiefs is a big team and it's a team of fans, they'll definitely fill up the stadium.
And then jumping back to that Morocco Swallows FC and the Middendorp story, I'd like to find out, do you think Middendorp stand a chance of changing Swallows FC's fortune? Why do I ask that? Because there have been a lot of rumors of players not being paid at Swallows 2-3 months behind with their payment. So do you think is there much that a coach can do in as far as that is concerned and change Swallows FC's fortunes, Modiba, if such discrepancies are happening in the Dube Birds?
Most definitely. I think we had the story at the start of the season, especially when, you remember, I didn't care. He was seated on the stand saying that he's still awaiting for permits. So I was so surprised why the team delayed such a paperwork. So looking at that, so I think I've seen them. They've got a huge crop of players, but the only concern is that they don't have too many combinations that way they need to fix up. And the strikers, the likes of Mwapu Musonda, Kagiso Malinga, they haven't come up for me. They just need to pull up the socks going forward. But I think Solos, they just need to, with Middendorp, I think he's one coach who can maintain discipline into the team. We've seen him at Kaizer Chiefs, they're almost winning the league there. But unfortunately, on the day, these players didn't pitch up. As he did say that some of the players were not disciplined enough towards the end of the season, and they were partying a lot. So let's see, even at Maritzburg United, this is a coach that saved them from relegation, and it was on 2 occasions, even last season before he left the club. So I don't know what led to the decision of owner there, Farouk Kolodia, to get rid of him. Because for me, he is a tactical coach who's capable of playing. Sometimes he gives big opponents, the likes of Orlando Pirates, Sundowns, a tough time, even though they do get an upper hand against him. So, but looking at Solos, they've got players. I think he's capable of getting combinations right. If only he can maintain that discipline that we've seen at Kaizer Chiefs and Maritzburg United, I think Solos can even maybe finish between the 8th and 9th on the log. So, but there's still much work that needs to be done. As we know, at the back they were just having those goalkeeping errors. Chakazan Mbajwa, they're making errors at the back. Jangan Sansman not pitching up. When this Tabika trying his best, but Tunis side not. There were so many things. Zulu, the players are there. It's just the matter of getting combinations right, and maintaining discipline at the back. Because up front they were capable of scoring goals. So I'm not so sure what's going to happen to Musa Nyatama. But with Ernst Middendorp and the finances that you spoke about, I think they just need to get a sponsor. Simple as that. But other than that, Middendorp will definitely get Prince Solos back to where it was. So I think they might finish 8th or 9th on the log.
Oh, we'll definitely hope that as Middendorp does turn Solos FC's fortune around, because South African PSL football definitely needs a strong Solos FC. We definitely need Solos to be in the elite league. We just cannot afford to have Solos relegated to the lower division of South African football, considering their rich history indeed. While on Solos, I heard you talking about the goalkeepers. I'd like to ask, Ngobeni, is still a part of Solos, or has he left? Because for me, last time I checked, Ngobeni was on top of his game, but for some reason, he was not making it on the starting 11.
When I watched some of the matches there, so I saw him sitting on the bench with the likes of Musa Nyatama. So at some point, I thought maybe he has retired. He is a goalkeeper coach, because they still have I don't know what happens to goalkeeper Jody February there. So this is a goalkeeper who also did well for himself. But there's this young goalkeeper who played absolutely well. I remember that game where he played goalless against TS Galaxy, Sanane Chabalala. So I think that player, that goalkeeper, they just need to groom that one, because he did well for me. So, and he even kept a clean sheet. I remember even saved a penalty in that match. So other than that, I think Ngobeni, they want to make him a goalkeeper coach. As you know, finances has been an issue at Solos. So, but up to so far, he's been sitting on the bench.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you very much, Modiba, for your time. It's always a pleasure to have a discussion with you and discuss international and local football, Modiba.
I'm so happy that even reception this time they didn't disrupt it, because I've got a lot. I had a jump-packed points to raise up on the show. So this time around, behaved its ways. So at least, so yeah. With that, it's a very good morning, and to you, and also to the listeners. Let's talk more next week.
A very good afternoon indeed. That was Modiba Peter talking to us football, FIFA World Cup, Qatar 2022, and South African football indeed. That takes us to 6 minutes before 12 o'clock. It is the 17th of December 2022. And if the weather means anything to you, the mercury is sitting at 20 degrees Celsius, and it is cloudy in Johannesburg. Gauteng maboneng ngwanaka egole kandongazathuma kamntanami wendele phina. Let's go around in circles.
Singing basalile baswi singeni nesama shimi uya besu baya kala shimi afuli wa masanga fuli spaningi basalile baswi singeni nesama shimi
Ever heard a baby bellow at the top of its lungs in a public place, far from your best music track, right? For a more beautiful note, contact Nirvana Sounds for your studio and live recordings. We engineer sound to perfection according to your specifications. We ensure crisp and clear audio-video conversions and delight your function with sound, stage and lights for hire. Our quotes are pleasurable to the ear. Contact us now on 083 945 7664. Nirvana Sounds, powered by Gospel World FM.
Looking to upgrade or repair your desktop or laptop? With over a decade's experience, TV Master specializes in software installations, data recovery, restores, PC rebuilds, and conversions from VHS to USB or DVD. For a no obligation quote, contact Pre on 011 855 6738 or 072 7706 796. TV Master, the name you can trust.
Thank you to Tom Megastar who gave us Going Round in Circles. She was then followed by Mr. Musakis featuring Cypher. Giving us that Amapiano hit that has taken South African social media by storm. Mnike konke umuntu wakho akufunayo. Time now, it is 7 minutes after 12 o'clock. A very warm welcome to the second and the last hour of the show. It is the 17th of December 2022. Good December, boss. Fela. Festive season is definitely upon us. With negative reporting about Durban beaches to have high level of sewer in them, will you take your chances and swim in them, or high corner you will pass this December? Actually, 11 beaches are reported to be closed in Durban because they have too much sewer in them, which reminds me of my friends Obra John Motaong and Simon Mohau. They would have put it in the sanitation way and said there is too much. I will leave it at that. I will not fall into that trap and say there's too much water. Mulwan and Prasai and easy. I'm not gonna fall into that trap. Diving straight to cricket, South Africa is visiting the World Test Championship leaders Australia for 3-match Test series, which started this morning 2:30 South African time in Brisbane. The stadium is the Gabba. Second Test match scheduled for the 26th of December 2022. Venue will be Melbourne Cricket Ground, which has a capacity of around about 100,000 seats. Third and final one set to get underway on the 4th of July. Venue for this one is Sydney Cricket Ground. We can expect a lot of sledging in this test series, considering that it is the first test series since sandpaper scandal, which happened about 4 years ago here in Mzansi. Do you remember it? Oh yes, Smith and Warner were in the thick of things. They had it tough against the Proteas. It's going to be nasty for the players, but entertaining for the fans, that's for sure. Proteas interim test coach Malibongwe Maketa, following Mark Boucher's exit and joined IPL side Mumbai Indian, is keen to see what the Gabba surface will have in store for all-rounder Marco Jansen. The Gabba Stadium is regarded as the bumpiest pitch in the whole of the Southern Hemisphere, and Jansen is expected to take full advantage of the situation and tear Australian batters apart, which will be led by South African-born Marnus Labuschagne, who's also ranked number 1 in the world. Surely Jansen will be backed by the tried and tested Kagiso Rabada and Kishaf Maharaj, who's also very good with both ball and the bat. Another talking point, obviously, is Temba Bavuma's form, which had dipped of late. He's been struggling in the limited overs, both T20 and ODI. How will he fare in the test series? Surely the Aussies will not make it easy, will not make it easier for him. With sledging and all, it will only get tougher for Themba Bavuma, who also doubles as the vice captain for Dean Elgar. But however, today he did much better. He got a second highest runs with when he registered 38 runs. Let's have a look at a Protea squad that has toured Australia. Dean Elgar will definitely captain the side. Themba Bavuma will deputize for him. Gerald Kutsie, Thinas De Bruin, Sarel Ervie, Simon Hammer, Marco Jansen, Henrich Klassen, who will also double as the man with the gloves, the wicket keeper. Keshav Maharaj, who's good with both the ball and the bat. Lungingiti, and the speedy Andrich Nokia. Tried and tested Kagiso Rabada is also there in the thick of things. Glenton Stearman, Mr. Cool, come and collected. Rassi van der Dussen is back from the finger injury which saw him lose out on the T20 World Cup recently held in Australia. Kyle Ferrein, who's the wicket keeper following Quinton de Kock's quitting the cricket longer version of the game, and Kaya Zondo. That is the whole squad that is touring Australia for these 3 test match series. But now let's look at today's starting 11 that took on Australia this morning. Dean Elgar, Sarel Ervie, Rassi van der Dussen, Themba Bavuma is batting at number 4. Kaya Zondo is at number 5. Kyle Ferrein is at number 6. Marco Jansen, who will serve as an all-rounder. Keshav Maharaj, Kagiso Rabada, Andrich Nokia, and Lungi Ngidi. Still that today's starting 11. For me, this is a very above double digits. That is Kyle and Themba Bavuma with 64 and 38 runs respectively. Sarel and Rabada only getting 10 runs each, and the rest of the team only managed single digits. That is bad indeed by any standard. Our real hopes now are squarely lying on the shoulders of the bowlers. As always, they carry the team on their shoulders, and they're always the one that ensure that Proteas eventually win, because our batters, to be frank and honest, for the past 2 years they have not been doing for the past 2 years or so, our batters have not been doing well. The bowlers had always had to do all the job for them. So what happened this morning when the South Africa were bowled out for a mere 152 runs all out? It definitely, for me, that was not a surprise. It was definitely no exception at all. The bowlers, they definitely this morning took the fight to the Aussies, and it was no surprise at stumps. The score